Hello everyone, Dave here back with another video, and today I thought it would be kind of fun to go through some manga tips or collecting tips for beginners, or I guess people who are trying to get into manga, or just people thinking about collecting a little bit more. I've been seeing these pop up on my recommended videos page on YouTube for a little while now, and I thought, hey, I've been collecting for a few years now, and I've been reading manga pretty much my entire life. I thought, you know what? Let me share my 2 cents, and these are 5 tips that I've personally had to deal with or come to terms with when it came to my own personal manga collection. A lot of these tips, as I was going through, I noticed that a lot of them relate to saving money. So if you're looking to save money while manga collecting, this could potentially be a pretty good resource for you. So without further ado, let's get into it. Here are my personal 5 tips for collecting manga, I guess for beginners or people that want to save money. All right, here we go. So I didn't really need to stop the camera on that last one because my first tip is pretty simple. I would say keep a notebook or a charter, as I like to call it. You know, I like ship's charter, where they've been. This charter is what I've read and what I'm currently reading. I've also got one for my anime that I'm watching as well. But I have like all my manga. I know it's backwards. I'm sorry. I gotta get a camera. I'm not a professional YouTuber. I don't take this seriously at all. Just kidding. I do. What was I saying? Oh yeah. So I've got the titles here. The volumes I need. Someone banging on the walls? What the fuck? And then the current place I'm on. So, like, for example, Toriko. I'm on volume 10, and I need volumes 10 through 43. So it'll take a minute before I get to where I need to be when it comes to Toriko. They're doing that again. So rude. So rude. Number 1, keep a charter, because not only will this help you save money, because you won't accidentally buy a volume that you have already, which has happened to me before. But it also, you know, just flat out helps you keep your place when it comes to reading it, because you're gonna want to read all these, right? You're gonna want to read all this shit. Half of this I haven't even fucking read yet, but you're gonna want to eventually read it. But not only does it help you keep track of that, because you could be reading a series and then take like a 2-month break, which I've been known to do, and then come back to it and have no idea what's going on. But another is like why you should probably consult your charter every time you go out, like before you go to your local store, wherever you go to pick up manga, is because, like, for example, the Don't Toy With Me, Miss Nagatoro, I thought I had volume 8, so I went ahead and purchased volume 9, and I don't have volume 8. I don't even have it. So I haven't been able to read volume 9 yet, which for this series I probably could read volume 9 because it's not like linear, but my OCD won't let me. So I have to wait until I get volume 9 now. So someone's still just fucking banging it out on somewhere around here. I don't know where. So that's just going to happen. I can't control that. But tip number 2 is you don't need to invest in some grand bookcase or giant shelving or expensive shelving. I have this shelving right here, which I've had since I was a kid. I don't even know what was on it. It held our DVDs, and then when I escaped my toxic household, I took it with me because I said, I'm getting something out of this. I've already gotten trauma and anxiety out of this. I'm getting the fucking bookshelf. I'm doing it. Like, they couldn't take that shit from me. They couldn't take it. So my therapist says I need to stop trauma dumping. I took the bookshelf. This video's all over the place. I took that, and then this guy I found for like $40 on Amazon, which upon recollection probably is too much money. It's a decent bookshelf. Like, it fits everything. The only issue is like when it comes to like taller manga, like Devil's a Part-Timer High School, it won't for some reason fit on these shelves. It'll only. Oh wait, hold on. Maybe I'm just fucking stupid. We'll come back to that later. But anyway, it'll fit some things. I just typed like bookshelf or something, or cheap bookshelf on Amazon, and this guy came up. I'll give you a grander view here. I also keep my Pokemon cards down here. And then it, has a nice space for my charging station for my vacuum and figures, the necessities. So yeah, I mean, it looks nice. It has a decent finish, and it holds everything. So you really don't need anything major. You don't need any extravagant giant bookcase. This will help you save money, help you save space. And also, when you're just starting out, really just get your hands on just something to keep your books upright, because the more they lay on, flat and you stack them up, that's how I kept my books for a while, and there's no shame in that. But the more that it does that, it can wear out the spine, so be careful with that. But otherwise, yeah, you save yourself some money and just get some cheap bookshelves, you really don't need anything crazy. He's getting cool with the angles. Can you guys tell I went to like 2 semesters of film school? Anyway, my next one is don't be afraid to buy used, because again, this is going to save you money. This volume of Dragon Quest Monsters Plus 4, for example, I think, let me check the other ones. It's like $12.99 new. I think this cost me like $4. So you get it for a fraction of the cost, and it's not like it's a DVD or a movie, which DVDs are traditionally movies, so I'm stupid, but like a game, rather, is what I meant to say, where it could potentially be scratched up, scuffed, whatever, it might glitch, like that could ruin your experience of viewing it. But at the end of the day, a book's a book, right? So as long as the pages aren't falling out, and like no like little brat, scribbled on the artwork, like you're gonna have a pretty good time with it. So save yourself some money. And don't be afraid to buy used. And now I know people look at the library stickers and stuff and they say, hey, that's a big turnoff. That looks like an eyesore. And you're right, it kind of is. But I said this in my manga collection video, and as corny as it may sound, I like when the book can tell a story different than the one on the pages, if that makes any sense. Like, this one doesn't say... unfortunately, where it came from, but I had a volume of something up here. I don't remember what, but it came from like the Rancho Cucamonga library, and that's, if I believe I'm correct, I think that's in California. So and I live in New York, Western New York, so it's like that came literally all across the country to sit on my shelf and for me to read it, and I think that's pretty interesting. I think that's kind of cool. So if you don't mind the library stickers and a little bit of wear and tear there, it's always good to, check if they have photos, like if it's eBay or whatever, inspect photos. And, Amazon, unfortunately, you kind of just have to roll with it, because it could be, very good condition, it could be new, it could be whatever, but, you kind of just have to kind of roll the dice there, because they don't have up-to-date photos. They only have the product photo, and that's it. But it could save you a lot of money in the long run, and if you don't mind a little bit extra use, buy used, because again, it'll save you money, and that's the biggest thing here, I think. Yeah. So tip number 4, I think that's what we're on, is don't be afraid to like trade in manga or sell manga or anything if you're not feeling it. Like, if your idea of collecting is buying everything you see and building the biggest collection, if you can do that safely, financially safe, and if that's what you're looking for, then go for it. If that's how you want to collect, I'm not going to sit here and say that you're doing it wrong, because it's your collection. But for me, that's how I started at first. I was like, oh, let me, a deal. Oh, there's like $2 for these 2 random volumes of manga that I've never heard of. That's cool. Or there's a bunch for, a few bucks when, whatever, I don't know. But I had, for example, I was running out of space. I had these 2 shelves full, and then it was filling up on the side over here. And I looked at my collection, and I was like, I'm never going to read half of these. I still have to read a lot. Well, actually, I've read a lot of what's on here, but I still have a lot to go, and I still have to read things along with all the anime I watch. So, it's very important to have an idea of what you want your collection to be, which we'll get into that in the next tip. But don't be afraid to trade things in, because you're gonna run out of space eventually. And, if you're not reading something, if you're not enjoying something, trade that in, get some money back to spend on manga that you actually want to use. And then, as corny as it sounds, then those volumes that you didn't like can go to a home where they'll be appreciated, just like in Toy Story, because the books will come to life, and then they'll be super sad that they got left in a box on a road or something, So trade it in, get some money back, and then use that for your own personal collection. Like, personally, this whole shelf was full of, like, haiku, because haiku is such a long-running series. I had until, like, volume 20-something. And then I looked at it and I was like, I love haiku. I adore haiku. But I watched the anime. I don't really need the manga. So I traded it in, got some money, and used it to buy manga that I do read, like iShield 21, which I can't find volume 36. If anyone knows where to find that, I want to finish it. I have volume 37. I have the last volume. I can't find 36. I can't finish the freaking series. It's my favorite. Anyway, yeah, so don't be afraid to do that. So my fifth and final tip is do your research. And I don't mean that in a gatekeeping way, like, oh, you have to do your research before you can spend money on books like the rest of us. Like, that's not at all what I mean. What I mean is, like, when you're getting into manga, when you're getting into collecting manga, this isn't the most expensive hobby in the world, but, like, it adds up. I have a small collection, and this is still a decent-ass amount of money that's right here. I could have gone back to college. I could have finished. I could have bought a house. I don't know. Probably not. I could have made a house out of the books. It would be small, but it would still be a house. What am I talking about? So, do your research in the sense of, like, when you see a manga you like let's say for iShield 21, for example. Right now, I'll tell you that this manga is awesome. But if you didn't know that, if you didn't hear it from me and you say, hey, football manga, that's kind of cool. Instead of diving into it head first, maybe just pick up one volume and see if you like it. I have this bad habit of, like, I see a series I like, I flip through it, I'm like, man, this is awesome. I pick up like 2 or 3 or 4 volumes, realize, it's not that good, and then now I spent all this money. I know it's tempting because, especially if you find a manga that you love, you get to the end, you're like, oh, I gotta keep reading, I gotta know what happens next, and you don't have that second volume. Yeah, that can be hard, but it's better to have that problem than, spend more money than you wanted to or could have. You know what I mean? But also, you could look at this, say, cool, iShield 21, I'm going to add that to my list of ones I want to get into. I'm going to go home, I'm going to look up some reviews, I'm going to look up and see if there are any, like, free chapters online, any of the, like, web sources that are used to read manga, see if that's in the database, see if I could read a little bit on it, see if it fits for me before I go out and I spend money on it and I spend time on it. You know what I mean? So I would say do your research in that regard. So you're not only saving money, but you're also, like, sure of what you want to purchase. And then it, brings a collection that's more tailored to you and more tailored to your likes and dislikes. Well, actually, why would anyone have manga that they dislike? That was stupid. That was a stupid thing for me to say. Anyway, yeah, so basically just do your research a little bit. Find what you like, find what series interests you. Again, look up reviews. I have a whole playlist of manga and anime reviews on my channel if you're interested. Shameless plug aside. Yeah, I hope these tips helped. I know this video was all over the place, but I don't really know what I'm doing at all. And these are just a few things that I've learned over my few years of collecting. And Lord knows I still have a lot to learn. So I could always do a follow-up video with even more tips, because I probably could come up with some good stuff. So, or, well, some stuff that could be important. But yeah, so here were 5 tips, if the ghost in my room has anything to say about it. 5 tips about collecting manga and potentially saving yourself some time and some money along the way. So again, hope you enjoyed. Hope this helped. If this did help, let me know. I think it's cool that I could have potentially helped someone in their new manga excursion. This is a great hobby because you're reading, so your mom will get off your back because you're actually doing a smart thing, like reading a book. And it's fun. It's fun to collect. It's fun to see your work grow in your enjoyment in something. And they all look so nice and pretty on a shelf. Not an expensive shelf, but a shelf. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.